There's a new video this morning that some say may be proof we're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a different angle appears to show the light doing the same thing.
You can see this thing comes down over through the valley and in the valley, and then it turns and it comes straight. So something traveling that fast, turning at that speed, that low, is just insane.
This seems potentially like one of the biggest stories of my lifetime. And I don't care if it's about UFOs or whatever you call it. Something that we don't understand is getting very close to our military aircraft, and the government isn't responding adequately, and I hope you keep sounding the alarm on this.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. It's rotated.
I think it will take congressional hearings to get to the bottom of all this.
This is the next big thing that they want the public to be afraid of.
Well, they fired this electromagnetic weapon. They collided. 2 went down near Roswell, and 1 wasn't found until 1951 up in the northern New Mexico. Conservative Republican president named a 5-star general, Eisenhower, said on his last speech to the nation as he left office, "Beware the military-industrial complex."
We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
He wasn't talking about his brethren in the military rank and file.
No, he said a technological elite in control of it.
We must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
People don't realize that Eisenhower, on his watch, lost control of the technology transfer issue around ET spacecraft. They circled the wagons and cut him out. So that's where I get into the Majority Intelligence Committee, MAJIC. It's pronounced MAGIC, ironically, or not ironically. And that is a blend of both corporate and government programs. And I've met with a number of them who are involved at that level. And they all have this agenda to want to control the world through one calamity after another. And the big one they've been planning is to host sort of an alien threat from outer space. You know, Wernher von Braun back in the 70s on his deathbed told a member of my team that there was a long-term agenda to hoax a threat from outer space so that sort of the uber global elite go through a number of protocols to do that. First, there would be, of course, the Cold War, which they would wind down, replace it with global terrorism, and then global financial chaos. And then the big one, which is the one that they're working on most, that's been very covert in these unacknowledged special access projects, is this hoaxed alien threat. All of this is basically a dress rehearsal for what's coming. And people need to wake up.
To control inventions that change the fabric of reality. A mysterious Dr. Salvatore Cesar Paes has filed 4 patents, of which the U.S. Navy is the assignee. They appear to be technology for what we would popularly describe as UFOs. And they are all based upon harvesting energy from the spinning of electromagnetic fields. These patents look very similar to what whistleblowers claim have been in production for years by weapons manufacturers such as Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. The same UFO-like craft that whistleblowers claim are being prepared to stage a fake alien invasion. After decades of deep misinformation, secrecy, and corruption, why bring this powerful technology out into the open today? The chief technical officer of the Naval Aviation Enterprise claims that the U.S. needs these patents because the Chinese are already investing significantly in these technologies. So are they rolling all this out into the public to prepare us for a space-age war with China? The subtext to all this, of course, is that there is no energy crisis.
I'm telling you you is
Only more
China
lies
has no
and
rules.
deceit.
20 years ago, they had cows that produced human milk. 20 years ago, they had spiders that produced body armor, spider guts. They have human-animal hybrids 30 years ago. They've got giant human tissue farms. You know, you hear, oh, your Achilles is torn. We've got a grown in a lab, a tendon. It's not a frickin' tendon grown in a lab. It's a frickin' deal, humanoid. These aren't humans. The way they get around it is they make them.
Wait a minute.
They make them a few.
We're saying so many things. Listen, I love you to death, but you say
I bet you
so
$10
many
million
different
humanoids
things.
are real.
I believe they are, but you say so many different things without stopping. It's hard
Because
for
I'm
people
reporting
to
to the
absorb.
government agency, so they'll listen and investigate. I'm decompartmentalizing.
Okay, but
this will be studied for years.
So what?
No, what I'm
I
telling you is,
believe you. I believe you.
Joe.
Yes.
It was in MIT Quarterly 25 years ago that they had human-animal embryos, but they killed them at the embryonic level. You can pull it up. Listen to this man.
I believe
They've
this.
got humanoids.
I believe this. Look, they've already used CRISPR to enhance children
With
They've
higher
done this.
intelligence and everything.
Yes.
I want to talk about human-animal hybrids and humanoids. Because, Joe, why has it got to be a humanoid?
Why?
Because if you make it a few percentage points another animal or another creature, it's a gray area. There's no human rights. You have an animal rights movement. You have a human rights movement. There's no alien movement. Right. Aliens are real. They're creating human-animal hybrids that are a new creature, never here on Earth. It's alien.
This is it. Human stem cells being injected into a pig's embryo. For the first time, scientists are seeing how our cells grow and interact inside an animal.
Scientists in the United States recently tried creating the world's first human-monkey chimera. I'm going to repeat that so that it registers. American scientists injected human cells into the embryo of a monkey.
China's already doing it, announcing in April that an international team successfully grew human monkey embryos and sustained them for 20 days in a lab. The only question is, what will they do next?
US and Chinese scientists have implanted human cells into monkey embryos.
Yesterday, the Senate passed the Endless Frontier Act, a bill that commits nearly $250 billion to promote emerging technologies so that America can keep pace with Chinese innovation.
In simple terms, they created embryos that were part monkey and part human.
Chimeric research is a Pandora's box that's obviously from hell that should not be opened.
Then we create human-animal chimeras with perhaps human neurons in their brains. And that raises a lot of ethical issues because what looks like an animal may well have mental capacity similar to that of a human being.
See, the aliens and the crafts are real. They're just from here. Now they're working with interdimensional entities, aka demons, to get this technology. Hitler, through Operation Paperclip, working with the Vril and Thule Society, he really pushed this envelope, and then we went in and stole all their work and brought all their Nazi scientists over here. This is all part of Agenda 21, global depopulation. They have these crafts that they will genocide targeted individuals with direct energy weapons using Project Bluebeam, and these crafts that have been created right here, like you just seen, with these animal-human hybrids that will look alien to us. So they make the threat, and then they will create the solution, my brothers and sisters. The entities that come forth to save us, these will be the fallen angels. This is how the elite have always worked. They create the threat, and then they create the solution, and they come in looking like the heroes when all along they're pushing their agenda and filling their goals of the Georgia Guidestone, getting the population down to 500 million in perpetual harmony with nature, as they say. Knowledge is power. Become the glitch in the matrix. Illuminati.